Hello, Cosplay World. We're back with the fourth part in this 7-part series. If you're interested in seeing the entire series and supporting us in all that we do here at FinalCosplayCorp.com, check out the Armory and how to gain access to it and all the awesome cosplay content there within. So, we have, did I label that bracers? These are gauntlets, bracers. I mix them up too much. Anyway, they're going to go on your arm. So, we have a bit of jointing in this set. A lot of the plating tricks are the same as you've seen with the boots and the breastplate and things like that. So of course we're cutting these out of PVC sheeting. And we're using the trick where we have the tab layered over themselves so we are more efficient with the plastic, of course. I'm working one layer at a time, kind of heating up and layering them over each other so that I keep it kind of consistent. Additionally, I'm gluing down one layer over each other. We're going to work on perfecting kind of the size and shape once we have each piece mounted to each other, and we can do some shaving and refining and things like that. So on the gauntlets, themselves, there are a few details that are going to go into place here. The Worbla I'm going to use as kind of a transition material. The detail kind of has a hard edge towards the front, but smooths out towards the back. So the thinner material of one Worbla, it was a good choice there, and I'm going to come in with some filler and finish that out as well. Now, easily, these kind of fluted sections near the back were the biggest pain in the butt. They're these weird parabolic shapes, and heating them up and getting them right was very time consuming. I definitely cut away and just fiddled with it and heated it up and mounted until I was happy with it. A lot of work. So for these straight sections, I'm going in with the box cutter, but for the rounded bits, hot knife, as usual when I'm working with the PVC sheeting or the plastic. Now, the panel underneath the main bracer needs to be at least big enough to touch the inner edge. That's why I'm not using what I cut out and kind of like squishing it underneath and trying to save us the material there. It just won't work. I need at least a 1/4 inch all the way around bigger in order for it to make enough contact to hold in place with our plastic glue there. That one, the bracers are largely one panel glued together, or they're not jointed, but we're going to be getting some jointed sections near the elbow for these. So what are we going to use? I think what I'm going to do for this bracer is first get the main section and then slowly kind of clamp down and work my way around so that the spacing's correct. I don't want to try and do it all at once because I'm probably not going to be right like the first time. I'm probably going to want to fiddle with it and make sure it's positioned correctly slowly rather than try to get it right the first time. It would be amazing if I got it right the first time, but probably not going to happen there. So at the wrist, we have a piece that kind of goes over the top of the hand. We're going to be attaching that as a separate piece, but we're going to be adding elastic so that it is jointed there, but still kind of attached. As you can see, we've got a couple layered pieces for the details that go over each other, and a few bits of trim as well. So all of this is glued on, again, with a bit of plastic glue. The trick here, what I'm doing is I've got these strips of PVC sheeting, and I've glued down the strip of elastic to the first section, and then I've glued that first section behind those PVC strips. So the PVC strips are kind of keeping it in place on the armor section, but they're free floating to go back and forth. They're not they're kind of like a belt buckle or like a belt loop. They hold in place in that same way. and a little bit of tension to make sure that it stays in position, but not too much where it starts collapsing on itself and it gets more of a pain in the butt. And I continue on until I get to the last bit of armor, in which case that's also glued down to the final segment of plastic. Now, this makes it kind of a pain in the butt to paint. To be honest, straight up, it's kind of a pain in the butt to paint. So if I wanted to have an easier time getting in underneath, I think I should have painted it before I started gluing adding all these sections together with the elastic. I think it would have been much easier to do all of the outer paint work and then come in and glue down the details on the inside. Now I can't paint on the inside because that special glue that is for plastics only really works particularly well when plastic makes contact directly to plastic. It's not like other glues like contact cement where it'll kind of glue to anything. And actually, as a general rule, glues are weakened by things like paint or other things that get in the way of surface contact in general. Oh well. So we've got red and silver and brown. As you can see, I'm doing my base colors of gray for the silver and my base colors of brown for the gold sections there. The nice thing that I've incorporated into this armor are these it's ribbon snaps. So it's a pretty expensive bit of ribbon, but it allows for adjustable sizes. So I don't really need to measure out a specific length of straps for D-rings. What I can do is just have the snap ribbon attached to the armor and have, say, 3 to 6 extra inches of material. And then when I send it off to the cosplayer, if they don't need all of that material, they can cut it away, or they can keep it if they so choose. And it allows for, say, in the future, if sizes change or whatever the case may be, that they have that option. So, a couple of the sections are not actually jointed in any way in the gauntlets, such as near the elbow, and only the one that gauntlets had jointing. And you can see I actually accidentally spray painted this one section of armor. Spray painted gold. It turns out that's silver, so we're gonna cover that in gray and then fix it with some silver as well. Again, if you guys don't know, the Delta brand is my favorite brand of silver paint. I can't say that enough. And once we're done here, we're going to be adding a bit of a wash again to make sure that the gold tones are more even and to bring out some of the layering that we have going on. To protect some of the jointing we did in the one section, I'm going to be covering that up in fleece. Also, just the armor in general is lined in sections in fleece so that it's more comfortable. We've got elastic straps here for this section that's going to be above the elbow. It doesn't need anything fancy, just a bit of elastic will do the job. Matching color elastic and such and so forth. So, fleece is the line I'm using here, but if you want to substitute something like craft foam, that's also an option. It's more of a comfort and a personal thing where, how do I say, it depends on how you feel about sweat on your body. Craft foam, it doesn't absorb the sweat, it kind of keeps it on the surface, so it doesn't tend to smell and just build up dirt as much as fleece, but fleece it will pull the sweat off your body. So that's a personal choice if you ask me. We do have some elastic straps here. That back section is adjustable in case you want a little bit more wiggle room in the jointing. Again, if the customer so chooses, what they can do is roll up the end, hot glue it, and cut away the extra if they don't want all of that extra jointing. So there you are. The next section, we're going to be going into the pauldrons, which is way more jointing. I hope you guys stick around and check that out. Good times to all. Bruh. The next video in this series will be on finalcosplaycore.com. Check the link in the description for more info.